Grant Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome to it. Great to have you with us. Thankfully, we got that irritating, obnoxious weekend out of the way.
Yeah, those suck.
Yeah, finally get back to business and fun. The fun that we continually have together during the course of the week. Let's see. We have a brand new bingo card, of course.
Yay.
Start the week out, starting in the upper left-hand corner with Out With My Real Ones.
Now, do we have to say that, or do you have to play the thing? By the way, if you want to play, go to @PatUnleashed on Twitter, pinned to the top of Pat's Twitter account. You will find this week's card, print it up, play along, and if you win, be the first to call. Or I guess if you get bingo, be the first to call. 888-900-3393. You win $35 to spend.
Exactly. Then there's this.
Brock and I think it's a right for people to have bad health care.
Sure. Then you got Jeffy. You're welcome. You're welcome. Pisaki Pisaks. Am I wearing pants? Which would be more like, am I wearing pants? Something like that. Mm-hmm. Probably coming from a Joe Biden type of situation. The Kasem voice.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we come to a song that was written by a man who used to be a woman and is now a man again. Now, on with the countdown. Keith.
Help me.
Mm-hmm. Joe struggles with numbers.
That saves billions of gallons of gasoline. I mean, billions of I think it's $2.3 billion worth of, $500 billion in savings and 2 billion metric tons of CO2 going in the air.
Sure, whatever.
He's good.
Really good. Powerful stuff. That's a long way to the well.
Mm-hmm.
Some new cringy lib video. There may be one very, very soon. Very soon, just so you know. Keith mentions the Connells.
Oh, yeah, the Connells have a new album coming out, by the way.
Free square there. That didn't count because it's during the setup.
Sorry.
The only thing I was simply saying and I got to find that.
Hello, Barack Obama.
Yeah.
This was an example where we had some poor phrasing in the speech.
Yeah, it is.
And we immediately tried to correct the interpretation that was given.
Right.
The point we were simply making was that we don't want barbed wire running through Jerusalem.
It just hit me for the first time hearing that, where something wrong with the interpretation. You were speaking English.
Yeah.
And so was the audience. What in the world?
Yeah. The only thing I was simply saying is that there shouldn't be barbed wire in Jerusalem. That was the only thing you were saying is? Huh.
Is.
Weird. Then there's so.
Yeah.
Another Biden clip, which is fun. It's this.
And thank you, Dr. Pepper.
Thank you, Dr. Pepper. Jeffy, don't square up on me.
He's got this one, right?
Biden again? Do you have this one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Look, fat, look.
Look, fat, look. You just said doo-doo.
Oh, man. How are we going to do that one without it seeming...
Do you have this next Biden thing? There's a lot of Biden clips this time. Biden...
So if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
You ain't black.
Okay.
Goodness.
Chevy, have a nice day. And then the LGBTQIA2 plus thing. Look it up. The cyber.
Yeah.
Which is fun. Old guys talking about cybersecurity.
That's right. Was it Trump that said that? Or
I think it was
Biden?
John Kerry.
John Kerry? Okay.
But Biden has said it too.
Mm-hmm.
Keith.
Oh, that should be a square. Mm-hmm. And look, it is.
How about that? And
you look like an idiot.
And finally, talking about our guns being lost in a tragic boating accident.
Yeah.
Because, that is sad as when the government comes to take them from me.
Yeah.
They're not there now. And I don't know where they are.
You don't even remember where the boating accident occurred?
I don't. I go boating so often, I don't remember what body of water that was.
But it seems...
I just know it was really, really deep. Like the deepest water place ever.
The deepest water place ever?
Yeah.
Were you in that, what is it called? The Marianas Trench or whatever?
I don't know, maybe. It might have been, but I can't remember.
But you're confident it's where the deepest water is.
Yes. Yes. It's the deepest water on Earth. That much I know. So it's impossible to get to because you'd implode if you went that deep.
But
the guns, in fact, probably exploded or imploded.
Seems like the trauma would stick with you and you would know exactly where it happened.
It does seem that way, but that's not the case. So anyway.
So.
All right.
Get my highlighter out. And we're going to start early.
And we gave you an easy one there. You're welcome. All right. It's really hard to know where to start. We had a great show with all kinds of stuff. I mean, great in that it's going to make your head melt probably. But we'll make it fun. We'll make your melted head fun.
Okay, is that a Pat Gray store? PatHeadShop.com, T-shirt in waiting?
Maybe.
We'll make your melting head fun.
Fun. It'll be fun as your head melts. It's going to be great. So even the fact checkers from last week actually fact-checked Joe Biden on the Second Amendment. You remember the thing he was doing about the Second Amendment where he said, do we still have this somewhere, Rob, where he claims that from day one the founders had certain guns, certain
limitations.
Weapons,
limitations on your freedom. Yeah.
Which is obviously not the case. Never has been the case. I don't know where he got that. Just out of his own senile mind, I guess. But
we're looking for that video right now.
PolitiFact actually ruled against him on Friday.
Wow.
Saying Biden misrepresents what the Second Amendment says. You think? Yeah. During his pitch for anti-gun proposals, Biden sought to imply he was following the path of the founding fathers. I love that they actually mention that they take note of that, because that's what these gun grabbers do every single time. Yeah, I'm just doing what they did because they couldn't have imagined high-capacity magazines that would fire 100 bullets. No, they would have loved it because they would have won the war a lot quicker than 7 years, I'll tell you that, against the British if they had them. And they would have distributed them to all of the residents, I'm sure. As many as could own a gun would have owned a gun. But he said, the Second Amendment, from the day it was passed, limited the type of people who could own a gun and what type of weapon you could own. You couldn't buy a cannon, which we've disproven, since private citizens did own cannons, called privateers, and they owned cannons, and they were not government-issued cannons. The private citizens had to buy the cannons themselves in the fight against the British. But he says those who say, and then this was great, we don't have this, Rob?
The Second Amendment from the day it was passed limited the type of people who could own a gun and what type of weapon you could own. You couldn't buy a cannon. Those who say the blood of patriots, and all the stuff about it,
and all the stuff,
move against the government.
Well,
the tree of liberty is not water with the blood of patriots. What's happened is that there never been, if you wanted to think you need to have weapons to take on the government, you need F-15s and maybe some nuclear weapons. The point is that there's always been the ability to rationally limit the type of weapon that can be owned and who can own it.
You could talk about that clip for a week and not get to every bizarre statement in it. First of all, it seems he's threatening the United States of America citizens with nuclear weapons. What, you'd nuke your own country? That would be a little bit, I'm thinking counterproductive. Like a lot of us in Texas own weapons, so that'd probably be your first target, right? Is Texas. And so you're going to be nuking Texas because we have a lot of guns here?
Yeah, and people trying to dismiss what he said there say, oh, he wasn't threatening, but this guy has a track record of threatening people. Whether it's that guy he challenged to a fight, got right in his face. It's also the guy he challenged to push-ups. I think it's the look fat.
The look fat guy. Yeah.
Look.
See, I mean, it's the reporter. He goes, wow. I mean, he's constantly
always doing that,
on edge and threatening people.
Even if it wasn't a threat, it was still just stupid.
Stupid.
Because it's asinine to think that you'd need nuclear weapons to defeat an overpowering government, because it's happened many times. It's happened hundreds of times throughout the course of history where citizens have risen up and become too unruly to oppress that way.
Yeah, and according to the same party that is saying this, they can also take over our government without even carrying a weapon into
Yeah, January 6th was the most dangerous. We were teetering on the brink of disaster for democracy. Right? Our democracy was at stake. Our democracy was almost ended that day. Was it really? Our democracy was almost ended that day? No, our democracy ended, well, before it even began.
Yeah.
But to bring down this government with a couple thousand unarmed people breaking windows, if we're that fragile, this isn't the country I thought it was. Pathetic. Anyway, by the way, speaking of that, they're putting together that commission now.
Good.
A 9/11 type commission to figure out what happened there and how we can stop it from happening again. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to talk about was his misquoting of the Thomas Jefferson quote about the blood of, as Keith mentioned when we first talked about this. It's not the blood of patriots Jefferson was talking about. It's the blood of tyrants. You water the tree of liberty with the blood of tyrants, not of patriots. He's not talking about killing each other. So he was talking about, putting an end to the tyranny. So anyway, PolitiFact ruled that malarkey, which is kind of fun.
He used his word against him.
Yeah, they did. And I'm amazed that they even took it on, because they just usually ignore all of his bizarre quotes and nonsensical speeches that he makes. But they took this one on.
I wonder who was running the show over there as Politico?
PolitiFact?
PolitiFact over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not your typical Monday through Friday.
No, it's a weekend crew, and maybe somebody didn't get the memo that we don't ever challenge Joe Biden. So good for them. Also, this is kind of fun. An enormous mega comet is flying into our solar system right now. So this is headed our way and should reach. Well, it's a ways away, though, still. Okay. Astronomers have discovered a huge, previously unknown object entering our solar system that will reach the orbit of Saturn in 2031. Okay.
But they're warning us.
I'm scared now.
So they can't tell us something that's like 5 minutes out.
It's possibly the largest body from the outer reaches of our solar system ever found to make such a close approach to the sun. So that's it's 62 to 230 miles wide, is what it is. Known as, another catchy name.
What do we got? What's the name?
2014 UN 271.
No, let's call it Fred. Fred the Comet.
It's estimated to be, well, first of all, I don't know. First of all, I don't know who did the calculation, because this is impossible to tell, because they said it's between 100 and 370 kilometers across. No idea. There's no way to tell how big it is. Could be, it could be the size of Jupiter, or it could be the size of a pebble. I don't know. Anyway, the object was spotted by the Dark Energy Survey project that just got started not too long ago.
And so this isn't even the government warning us.
No. Right. Yeah, it's not even NASA. So will it get to it? Will 2031 be the closest it gets?
Yeah.
So Saturn is as close as it will get?
Yeah, so we're fine.
Saturn's like 500 million miles away or something.
Okay.
I mean, come on.
They said it takes 600.
I'm not that scared about it.
612,000 years to orbit.
612,000 years to orbit the sun?
Yeah, to complete its full rotation there. So
we'd be really young on this thing if we lived on this planet. We'd never get to a year old.
Oh, snap!
Yeah.
Let's move to Fred the Comet, and then I can stop aging.
We're all moving to the Comet.
All
we'll be
right.
super, super young and spry forever. Wouldn't that be great?
I
like it.
Yeah, so that's we'll get to it later, but that's not the only the news from outer space we got. You know, they finally released that UFO report. There's some stuff in there.
Ooh. We'll talk about that in just a minute. First, let me tell you about protecting my family and yours. That's really our number one priority, right? To protect our families. I want to do it safely. The people at Taser believe that safer self-defense is better self-defense. Taser's line of non-lethal self-protection devices are small and lightweight enough to carry with you or in your glove compartment or purse. So if you want something for your wife to defend herself or your daughters, this is fantastic. They're powerful enough to incapacitate any attacker. And they come loaded with features like laser-assisted targeting and emergency dispatch, which will send response teams to your GPS location when you fire it. That's pretty cool. Protect yourself and your family with Taser's line of self-defense products. Taser devices are available without a permit in most U.S. states. Get the Taser Plus Pulse or the Pulse Plus or Taser Strike Light at taser.com. With the promo code PAT, you'll save 15% right now. 15% at taser.com, taser.com, and use the promo code PAT. taser.com, promo code PAT. Restrictions apply. See the site for details.
Pat Gray.
All right, I actually have not seen the released UAP report. That's unidentified aerial phenomenon. That's how the government likes to sum it up. I don't know why. Why can't you just call it the unidentified flying objects like everybody else does? But they don't. So here's the unclassified report. Some UAP appeared to remain stationary in winds aloft, move against the wind, maneuver abruptly, or move at considerable speed without discernible means of propulsion. We've known that for some time.
Right.
In a small number of cases, military aircraft systems processed radio frequency, RF energy associated with UAP sightings.
Wow. So they're transmitting like radio frequencies, some of these craft?
Apparently.
That's interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it was a short report. You know, it was only 2 people tasked with it. And
2 people?
Yeah. And so remember, this is from Rubio snuck this into that bill in December.
Yeah. And said they had to do it in June, right?
Had to release
By June.
it. Yeah. And so
they did.
And this is actually only like 6 pages. It's like a 9-page document, but most of it's footnotes. So it's only 6 pages. But, you know, there's not a lot in there. I knew it. But it's encouraging that at least they're admitting this stuff now on record.
The other thing that's maybe of note, UAP pose a hazard to safety of flight and could pose a broader danger if some instances represent sophisticated collection against U.S. military activities by a foreign government or demonstrate a breakthrough aerospace technology by a potential adversary. So obviously they're saying if this is earthbound technology, it's obviously dangerous to us. Well, do you think?
They only went back to 2004, so they don't go back to 1947 and Roswell. There's no mention of aliens or...
I knew this was going to be a nothing burger.
Well, there's no encounters, stuff like that, like
Nothing.
with the physical beings themselves. But
you think this is what we really have on it?
Well,
no.
And they did say that we'll go to wherever the information leads us. I think they're just basically telling the government, you know, give us some money to actually do some research on this stuff.
And maybe appoint more than 2 people?
How
about that?
Yeah.
How about I don't know, 4, double it. Ooh, go crazy.
Yeah.
What if you tripled it to 6 people looking into it? Wow, that would be
Well,
crazy.
now that's a bloated bureaucracy at that point.
Yeah, now
Come
it's
on,
just
Pat.
ridiculous.
Stop
I'm
it.
sorry, I'm being ridiculous now. Okay, so 4 takeaways from the U.S. intelligence community's UFO report. Here's what they are. No evidence of aliens, but what are they? Investigators found no evidence that the sightings represented extraterrestrial life. Really? Huh. A senior U.S. official told reporters on Friday, but they don't rule out the possibility. Of the 144 reports we're dealing with here, we have no clear indications that there is any non-terrestrial explanation for them, but we'll go wherever it takes us. That's
there we go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. No evidence of foreign government involvement either. Huh. Well, then are you saying these are our devices then? Which would be great. For lawmakers, intelligence, and military personnel working with the issue, the bigger and more likely concern was not that alien life is visiting Earth, that's for sure, but rather that a foreign adversary like Russia or China might have developed some kind of next generation technology. That's not just the next generation. That's next, way down the line of technology. The way they've described it is impossible. It's impossible for this to have been developed by Russia or China. Stop it. Would I love it if it was our technology? Absolutely.
What if it's Liechtenstein just kind of playing us?
Then we're in trouble.
Just waiting.
We're in trouble. Those Liechtensteinians, they don't mess around. They punch above their weight, my friend.
True
They
that.
punch above their weight.
They're about to show us.
At least for now, there's no evidence that the strange sightings are foreign surveillance or new technology. Why don't we know more? In short, bad data. Why would that be? You know, even those videos that come from the fighter planes, from the fighter jets, those are just crappy little teeny dots and stuff that you barely. Don't we have better technology? Get out your iPhone.
That's a great point.
Get out your iPhone and take a look at
it. It's almost like when we get this footage, it's like from I Love Lucy days. You know, it's not high definition.
Right.
It's like grainy black and white. Come on.
Grainy black and white. That's why they describe it as a tic tac, because that's all you can see is this little oblong thing down there. You have no idea. Get out your iPhone. Take a look at it. Of course, that came from what, 2004? Was that one or 2007?
Oh, Tic Tac was 2004.
Yeah, it's been
that's where this report starts. Yeah,
pre-iPhones, but still, we had better cameras than that.
Yeah. Bad data.
So bad data.
That should be a future bingo square. Bad data.
The limited amount of high-quality reporting on unidentified aerial phenomena hampers our ability to draw firm conclusions about the nature or intent of UAP. Yeah,
we need
And again, why is that?
Need a couple more people here in the basement
Jeez.
to help us go through this. This wasn't even their job, these two staffers. Like, this is just kind of like, if you got some time on the weekends, why don't you do this UFO thing? And so these couple guys probably...
So these aren't even necessarily experts in the field? Or were they?
I don't know that they are. They probably like... were drawn out of a hat. All right, who's going to do the report?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, crap.
UFOologists and some lawmakers are disappointed. Yeah, and some talk show hosts as well. But I knew where we were going to be. Yeah. I knew it would either be all redacted or they're just going to withhold the information they do have. You know they've got more than this.
Yeah, there is.
Come on.
My understanding is there's a classified report.
Yeah, this is the declassified stuff.
So the people that we trust... You know, like the Elon Omars and the AOCs,
sure,
and the Rashida Tlaibs. Those are the types that'll have access to more.
That's great.
Details. They're the caretakers.
Some congressional sources who have seen the classified version of the report have already expressed disappointment. There's not more of an explanation.
Oh, wait a minute. Episodes. Hold on. They're expressing disappointment too. The ones that have seen the classified report. Oh, that sucks.
No, they're disappointed that more of that information wasn't included.
Oh, okay, good. Well, good. Maybe there is some cool stuff out there.
Oh, you know there is.
Is there going to be a report on the classified report?
You don't think we have a better shot of them than that grainy black and white radar video? I'm pretty sure we got better shots of it than that.
Yeah. Okay.
They've probably got infrared. They probably got the inside of the UFOs photographed.
You know what? Yeah, we've got the Hubble.
Come on.
Right?
Yeah.
Are we not come on. We can see inside. We can see inside the little alien cup holder to see what kind of drink they got in their cockpit there.
We've looked right in their windows. We know who they are. We know where they're from.
They probably waved at us too.
They've crashed here, and we've reverse engineered their technology. I mean, haven't we heard all those things? We have. Yeah. They've been claimed, and it's certainly not out of the realm of possibility, I don't think.
So this was the shining moment for the aliens, and our government, surprise, let us down. That's
surprise.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
That's why I didn't get my hopes up. I knew this was going to happen. Just nothing.
But hopefully this will be the first of many, and we can look back and go, man, remember when we were so disappointed back in 2021, that first report? Mm-hmm. And now look at the information we're getting. Well, by then, they'll just control us and rule the world.
I will say, though, at least they don't think it's Russia or China.
Yeah.
And they don't think it's necessarily aliens, which leaves one possibility. It's us. It's our own stuff, which would be phenomenal, really. As long as we're the ones with the technology, I feel pretty good about it.
Let's think this through for a second. You're in charge of assigning the two guys who are going to put this thing together. Mm-hmm. You're going to pick somebody that isn't going to, rock the world too much. Mm-hmm. And if they do conclude that it's Russia and China, which would you rather see in that report? I'd rather see aliens than Russia and China.
Sure. Absolutely. Yep. All right. Also, scientists don't know why hundreds of birds are getting sick and dying across the U.S. Didn't the same thing happen to bees? Bees were disappearing too.
Oh, yeah.
And dying. Billions of bees all over the world. I haven't heard that report for a while, though. Wildlife experts in at least 6 states and Washington, D.C. have reported an increase in sick or dying birds in the last month. Most commonly afflicted birds are blue jays, common grackles, and European starlings.
Wait a minute. Kind of like the jerk birds, basically.
Mm-hmm. Huh. The obnoxious birds.
Yeah.
That I always think of this when we lived in the Houston area. In Katy, there was a corner there where, tens of thousands would congregate at this H-E-B grocery store every night. And when they all took off at the same time, it would almost black out the sky. There were so many of them. Wow. And they just poop everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And it's nasty.
Oh.
And they're so obnoxious.
Yeah. You remember where we worked in Houston? Do you remember how long, and I'm sorry to just make this so isolated, but the walk from the radio station to Kroger was about 3 blocks. Mm-hmm. I walked there one day, and half of that walk I was attacked by one of these
starlings,
stupid grackle jerks. And then on the way back...
They're mean. They're mean.
So I'm sorry that you're suffering, but,
I don't have that much sympathy for them. Besides, they're not even real. We know that now. Oh. We're experiencing an unusual amount of bird mortality this year, according to Kate Slankard, an avian biologist at the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife. We've yet to figure out what the problem is. The condition seems to be pretty deadly. It's probably coronavirus, right?
Yeah, it's probably going to kill us all here in 5 days.
Yeah. Symptoms include crusty or puffy eyes, neurological signs of seizures, yikes, and an inability to stay balanced. Let's just hope they can't pass this on to us.
Golly, it sounds like a drunk or something,
Experts said the birds have been behaving as if they're blind and exhibit other abnormalities, like not flying away when people get close.
Oh, man.
They'll just sit still, often kind of shaking, Slankard said. It's pretty safe to say that hundreds of birds in the state have had this problem.
Oh, hey, government, come get your birds. They're not working.
Yeah.
They're malfunctioning.
It would be really sad if the birds were real, but of course we know birds aren't real.
Correct.
In fact, didn't they just have a big rally in Missouri?
Yes.
The birds aren't real rally.
Yes. Yeah, they got a spokesman. You're going to be entertained by him, too, if you want to hear from him later.
Yeah, all right. We'll tell you what he had to say. The spokesman for birds aren't real. Coming up on Pat Gray Unleashed. Birds Aren't Real rally took place in downtown Springfield, Missouri.
All right.
According to Peter McIndoe, he's with the Birds Aren't Real movement. So it is a movement.
Mm-hmm.
all birds in the United States, all of them, were killed by the government and replaced by federal drones.
Is that right?
Yeah. Wow. He says, what makes me think that? I think the evidence is all around us. Birds sit on power lines.
Oh, yeah?
We believe they're charging on those power lines.
Oh, I like this. Oh, I want to see this guy.
We believe that bird poop on cars is liquid tracking apparatus.
Wow.
Makes perfect sense.
Oh, my. Get to a car wash stat.
Perfect sense. Since the movement has gained a large fan base since it began, they have over 360,000 Reddit subscribers.
Do you want to see the video from this event?
Sure.
Because you might enjoy this.
Not real! Not real! Not real!
Yes.
What a weird thing. Pigeons are liars.
Now that's a fact.
Didn't like that I was with this, but you know what? We all have to stand for our truth today. Can I get an amen? Amen! Today we stood for truth. Can I get an amen?
My name is Peter, and I live, breathe, and die for the feathered gospel, which states that every bird alive is a government surveillance drone in disguise that's basically watching probably us having this conversation right now. Yeah, so well, what we believe, and I know other people may not believe it, but what we believe is that all 12 billion birds in the United States are artificial. What makes me think that? I think the evidence is all around us.
There you go.
Birds sit on power lines.
See?
We believe they're charging on power lines.
There you go.
We believe that bird poop on cars is, a liquid tracking apparatus.
Okay.
Built to track people across. And I think we live generally in a surveillance state in the United States right now. And birds are just one part of that surveillance state. So every bird is assigned to one person normally from our research. And that's the thing. I don't speak about anything I can't prove in a court of law. I speak about things I've seen documented. I've seen the documentation for these, and we've actually had CIA agents come forward and confess to this.
Wow.
Have you?
Is that right?
I'd like to see that.
So if you see a bird just hanging around you and he looks a little too familiar, that's the bird that's assigned to you. That's what he's saying there. What are you're doubting this guy?
That's amazing how many people showed up for that, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and as soon as the camera started rolling, he was like, "Hey, so how many T-shirts have we sold today?" I mean, that's literally the only thing they're doing there. I guarantee you, they were selling stickers and shirts and hats and stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
That's all this is, but that's fun stuff, though. I mean, he's.
I love the pigeons are liars sign. That's funny.
I want to see the schematics of that pigeon, though. I don't know, Rob. It's probably too difficult to try to go and find a needle in a haystack. But somewhere in that report, there was a still shot of what is actually makes up a bird. Look at this, Pat. Look at that. So there's a microphone. Is that inside of it? Right there. There's a little speaker. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, microphone. There's the camera is obviously the eye, their eyes. Wireless antenna built in.
Wow.
A speaker. What's the speaker for?
Yeah, I don't know. Are they going to...
I guess the microphone would be listening to us.
Yeah, so are they going to talk to us at some point? Like when they activate...
Maybe that's just the chirp sounds that come out of it?
Oh, yeah. There you go. That's the chirp sounds. Yep.
There's a CPU in it. There's a battery. And the inductive charging coil.
Of course, you got to have the inductive charging coil.
Well, that's why they sit on power lines, obviously.
So if they're getting sick right now, are they just not being charged well? Because you're having these reports of how they're just letting you walk up to them. Oh my gosh, now's the time to catch a bird and look for that speaker and stuff. We need a distraction in this world.
We do.
I like it.
So we get that many people set up for birds aren't real. But
can
we get a similar crowd for, I don't know, civil asset forfeiture? Or...
Hey, that judge came through. Yeah.
Yeah?
That federal judge right there, middle, bottom. Yep, right there. Right down. There you go.
Right here?
No.
Right here.
Yeah. You got it.
All right.
You got it.
A federal judge scolded the feds for their woefully vague seizure notices to customers of U.S. private vaults.
Love this guy.
This is the one where they took $80 million from people in cash and jewelry and other expensive items. They the planned forfeitures of safe deposit boxes likely violate customers' constitutional due process rights. Likely? Yeah. U.S. District Judge Gary Klausner issued a temporary restraining order preventing the feds from initiating civil asset forfeiture against 4 individuals who sought return of their valuables until prosecutors provide the specific factual and legal basis for the action. He gave the government until tomorrow to explain why the judge should not issue a preliminary injunction, which would halt planned forfeitures until the merits of the case were decided. Yeah, how has this not happened before now? Because this took place months ago. I think March is when it happened. It's a black eye for the feds who claimed USPV intentionally lured criminal activity and that its customers were an undifferentiated mass of drug dealers and money launderers. Absolutely not true. Absolutely untrue. Charge them then. The government did not charge any customers with crimes, however, as they seized their belongings. No crimes. Just we're taking this, okay? Well, I'm not going to ask if it's okay because I don't care what you think. And we're gonna take it in the fight against drugs. Oh, well, wait a minute. I'm not a drug dealer. This is my life savings. I put it in here for safekeeping, and then the FBI steals it in the biggest bank heist of all time.
Yeah, exactly. What if they took that money to do some proper research on UFOs? You'd be for it then, right?
Yeah, then it's fine.
It's like,
don't worry about it.
I'll just write the check.
It's crazy. It's crazy what's going on. Yeah. But fortunately, there's a decent ruling from a district judge. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. I guess we have another pro-vax video. People just really excited about vaccines.
I think it's really fun. Yeah, I think it would be fair to refer to this as
this person's excited about
new
it.
Cringy lib video. What do we got?
Let's see.
Oh gosh, no! Don't do it! Please don't do this.
No, they're doing it.
Oh no!
If you wanna hang with me, I'll give it to you easily. You just need to get that shot.
I'm gonna puke.
Getting herd immunity is good for the community, cause biology is high.
I'm definitely
antibodies now, antibodies wow. Keeping COVID at bay. If you're tired of wearing this, and listen to the scientists and sign yourself up today.
Yeah.
You want to be with your baby, your new grandson. Get vaccinated, you qualify. Get straighter by yeah. I got you, Pfizer, Moderna, J&J, even you, AstraZeneca. Roll on up your sleeve, get vaccinated. You need Pfizer, Moderna, J&J. It's okay if it's AstraZeneca. Roll on up your sleeve, get vaccinated.
You look like an idiot.
Yes. Jeez. Have you had enough of those, Pat?
Wow.
Are we?
I think I have.
We're done. We're done on the pro-vaccination video train.
I think so.
That one.
I think we're there now.
That one hurt.
Wow.
Bad.
She thinks she's so sexy singing this vaccination song. Oh man. That's embarrassing.
I need a breath mint.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Why? If you like the vaccine so much, go get it. Why are you trying to browbeat everybody else into getting one?
We got to start looking to see exactly what's in this vaccine, because it's doing something to people's brains. That they make these videos like this just at will.
Yeah. And I don't know that the AstraZeneca one, didn't we have something from last week about the AstraZeneca one that was, I don't know, somebody in Britain was really, really sick over it after receiving it. And I don't know, it's happened so much, I can't keep them all straight.
Oh, yeah, it's tragic what's
She
happening.
didn't sing about the Chinese ones, though. Why wasn't she singing about the 2 Chinese vaccines?
Because she's a racist and xenophobe.
Yeah, right.
I love Chinese people too, but come on.
Yeah, they're about 10% effective or something.
What do you want, man?
Yeah, what do you want? I mean, you want it to really protect people? Come on now.
No, but I mean, you were asking about the people who are sick. I mean, there's videos all over the place. I mean, I thought you were about to talk about the guy who got the Moderna and his leg won't stop shaking.
Yeah, I was just about to show that.
Tragic.
So I don't think he's going to be singing the same song as a crazy liberal chick that we just saw.
No.
Here's what he's going through right now. 39-year-old man.
That's tragic, man. And so he's documenting this with every day, and he's just showing this is what's happening to me. And he's saying, "Don't get the vaccine. This could happen to you."
Moderna.
39-year-old man.
This is similar to the one we saw very early on.
The nurse lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's sad. Okay.
Yeah. No,
that's just oof, man. Really sad.
Yeah.
I wonder what in the world would cause that. Were they both Moderna too? I think the first woman who was shaking like that and said it's like she's doing dance moves no matter where she is or what she's doing.
Yeah.
I think hers was Moderna.
I think you're right.
Ugh.
I never got an update on her. She was going in for shock therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine?
For that to be permanent? Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we got a lot of new information to get to today. You know, the Robert Malone guy who developed the mRNA technology. I mean, he's speaking out now. They're saying it's not being administered correctly.
This is the guy, Robert Malone, invented mRNA vaccine technology. And so here's what he is saying about it being improperly administered.
There was a risk of a spike being biologically active and having adverse events if it did not stay stuck to the cells that were transfected, that got the RNA and made it. Okay, and they used a genetic engineering method of putting a transmembrane domain on it to ensure that it stayed anchored and stayed put.
I was going to say the transmembrane.
They did limited non-clinical studies to say
stuck it on there.
Looks like it stays stuck. Right. We engineered it to stay stuck.
They did,
but
it didn't stay stuck.
They published that. Here's the thing:
specially engineered.
That's generally not good enough in a non-clinical data package. So before we get a product released to use in humans, in the normal situation where we're not in a rush, we have some really rigorous tests that have to be done in animals. And revealing that spike gets cleaved off of expressed cells and becomes free is something that absolutely should have been known and understood well before this ever gotten put into humans. So I'll just leave it at that.
So I'll just leave it at that. Okay. That's the guy who developed it. And he's saying that because they were in such a rush, they did the membrane thing, which, I don't want to get too technical for you. But play the very beginning of this again so we can hear what it was that he said they did.
There was a risk of a spike being biologically active and having adverse events if it did not stay stuck to the cells that were transfected, that got the RNA and made it.
Transfected. Okay. You got that word?
And they used a genetic engineering method of putting a transmembrane domain on it to ensure that it stayed anchored and stayed put. And they did limited non-clinical studies to say, looks like it stays stuck. Right. We engineered it to stay stuck.
They did.
And they published that. Here's the thing.
Specially engineered.
That's generally not good enough in a non-clinical data package. So before we get a product released to use in humans, in the normal situation where we're not in a rush, we have some really rigorous tests that have to be done in animals.
Sure.
And revealing that spike gets cleaved off of expressed cells and becomes free is something that absolutely should have been known and understood.
That's what I've been trying to say.
Well before this ever gotten put into humans. So I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. All right. He's going to leave it at that, but I'm going to take it a little bit further because I'm pissed. Yeah.
Oh, no. What? Is it the cleaving they got?
Well, maybe I won't. But but it should have been stuck to the transfected membrane. And then, the transmembrane domain would just shoddily slapped on there. And then it's become unstuck from the transmembrane domain. So now it's flying all over people's bodies.
So now you can take that to the water cooler today.
You can. Yeah. That's
impress
good.
Your coworkers.
That is good water cooler talk right there.
Yeah. So he
transmembrane domain.
Now he did say though. I mean, he released a study, and he said, "Hey, look, we're preventing 3 deaths
for every 2
that we're causing with the vaccine."
Currently, we see 16 serious side effects per 100,000 vaccinations, and the number of fatal side effects at 4.11 for every 100,000. Ooh. For 3 deaths prevented by vaccination, we have to accept 2 inflicted by the vaccination. Wow. Now, this is according to the guy who developed mRNA technology. This isn't some right-wing kook who's just making stuff up and saying that the vaccine is killing people with no evidence.
And that study isn't one that he's a part of. He just released that. And what was the conclusion of this study? They said that governments need to... What's the last line of the highlighted part there? What does that say right there?
This lack of clear benefit should cause governments to rethink their vaccination policy.
Oh, well then. Did you hear that? Joe, why don't you stop telling us, get vaccinated?
But this is going to be, eliminated from Twitter.
Oh,
You're not going to be able to post this and talk about it on YouTube.
Yeah, the historical record is already being erased as we speak. And they've been working overtime on various websites to downplay this guy's importance in this field. And it's just...
What can you say about him?
Yeah.
Sorry, he helped develop it.
They're giving more credit to some other chick now, and
of course, because he's out of favor now. He's not talking the party line, and so we've got to diminish him.
Yep,
he can't be anybody important. Wow, that's crazy.
It's scary.
888-900-3393. You still want to sing about the vaccination? You stupid morons.
I want the aliens just to.
Jeez.
Let's go.
All right, more Pat Gray Unleashed. Just around the corner now. Great to have you with us. Thanks for being here. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. If you want a delicious cookie this week, 4th of July is on Sunday. And so at Kexi.com, you can get the cookies, and we'll take care of the shipping charges.
Oh, wow.
So that's going to save you a lot.
Yeah.
That'll be our biggest sale so far.
Now, am I allowed to order Kexi.com cookies, okay, if I don't have my vaccine yet?
Yes. Yes, you are.
Just making sure that that's not like exclusive, you have to...
No, we have not excluded the non-vaccinated yet. So, and I don't necessarily foresee that happening.
Okay.
888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Joe's Pudding Guy tweets, I'm not saying aliens are real, but Earth would be a great vacation hotspot. I mean, who can resist a zoo with such a wide variety of creatures and freaks?
Yeah.
Axis Tech, the birds aren't dying. They just need new batteries. Planet of the Mams.
Oh, no.
Wait, you mean UFOs aren't infrastructure? Have we found the one thing government has decided is not infrastructure? Perhaps, perhaps. Non-gender specific Casper. We can't see the UFOs clearly in our own atmosphere, but we know there's a mega comet that will reach Saturn's orbit in a decade.
That's awesome.
That's a great point. And from Coffee Lover M, wow, that song from the woman who loves the vaccines totally changed my mind, and now I'm going to get the jab. Well, yeah, that's the effect those songs have on people. They immediately want to get one now, right? I mean, are you there yet, Keith?
Am I there?
You? Yeah, did she convince you? Get the jab?
She convinced me to vomit.
But not get the jab?
Not get the jab.
Ah, boy.
No.
She'll have to try a little bit harder, I guess.
Uh-huh.
I love that now Democrats, their new thing is that Jesus hates guns. Yeah. To get where Democrats need to go, they not only require regulations and laws, they require cooperation because of the 390 million plus firearms that are owned by private citizens. Apparently 17 million of those would be classified as too scary to actually own under the new laws proposed by Democrats. So how are they going to get us to voluntarily relinquish what our founding fathers viewed as coming from God. Well, they're going to try to convince you that Jesus hates guns. To do that, they've turned to the pages of the magazine founded by evangelical icon Billy Graham, Christianity Today. That's interesting. As a Catholic, I don't. Christianity Today gives the appearance, apparently, of going the route laid by David Burge. I don't know David Burge. Do you know who he is? Also known as Iowa Hawk years ago. Target a respected institution, kill and clean it, wear it as a skin suit while demanding respect. The author is someone named Taylor Schumann, and Taylor Schumann was one of 2 administrative staff wounded by shotgun pellets in a shooting at Near River Community College in Christiansburg, Virginia. About a decade ago, nobody was killed, but the perpetrator is serving a 38-year sentence. That gives her the aura of school shooting survivor, and this is how she describes her journey from her personal blog. I've always been a writer, but it was a spring day in 2013 that made me an activist. The bullet that tore through my left hand on an otherwise average afternoon at Near River Community College in Christiansburg, Virginia, redefined the trajectory of the written word for me, assigning mission to my passion and essential, urgent purpose to my page. In the split-second moment of the shooting and the long work of healing and trauma recovery that followed, okay, keep in mind she got shot in the hand. My beliefs about gun reform, thoughts and prayers, and the role of the church in our nation's historic and future violence were irreversibly altered. Alive in the gratitude of the aftermath, I write the truth of my own story and the stories of countless precious lives affected daily by the crisis of gun violence, to implore others to join me in meeting the suffering around us with wholehearted attention. As the mother of a young son, I'm compelled to hold the American Christian Church accountable for its pro-life claims. At home in Charleston, South Carolina, and across the nation, I've witnessed the entrenchment of church and gun culture and apparently moral disconnect wreaking havoc on our ability to affect positive change. It's my hope that the story will be the place we join hands and ignite in passionate advocacy to create a better future for Henry and the rest of our children. It's my desire to write our swords into plowshares, our apathy into action, and the distance between us into common ground. Well, there you go. They're using religion now to try to get to us because obviously we have the Second Amendment and we believe that was given to us by God. And so now they're trying to turn that around in that if you're a Christian, you can't believe Jesus wants you to own a gun.
Okay.
Interesting.
Was there a quote in red there somewhere that I missed? Where Jesus said guns are bad?
No, you're not going to find that quote.
Okay.
No. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There is a scripture that says something about sell your cloak, and if you don't have a sword, sell your cloak and buy one. I'm trying to think where that is. But anyway, he has said kind of the opposite of, don't get a gun or don't have a weapon to protect yourself. But we're supposed to believe that Jesus hates guns now, but loves abortion, killing children.
I mean,
and loves when you change the gender he gave you.
When you say it like that.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be a tough sell for the left, but
they're up for it.
They're up for it.
They won elections with faux Christianity takes
absolutely
before
they're good at this stuff.
Oh yeah, they're great at
all this kind of propaganda.
Like in the 2006 midterms, that was when Howard Dean ran the DNC.
Mm-hmm.
That was the course they plotted to take over Congress, and it worked.
Yeah.
And
for a while.
And I could see them going back to that playbook again.
Yep, they're doing it. Mm-hmm. They're doing it right now. They're pulling out all the stops. Because they know that people are starting to wake up to what's going on with this Biden administration and the socialism that's being put into place. And they're starting to stand up to it and say, wait a minute, whoa. We didn't want this. I thought you were a moderate.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're finding not so much now.
I mean, the government is in all our business, and further complicated and made easier for them, as we learned earlier in the program. With the birds, everybody has a bird assigned to them that spies on them and takes notes. And
12 billion of them.
Transmits back to the government.
What is that? This 330 million Americans, 12 billion birds. So there's like...
I think they're rotating them.
20, 25, 30 birds per person?
Something like that. Don't
watch you?
Numbers and stuff, I can't. Like I'm like Joe Biden with numbers.
Yeah.
So it's not a good...
He is bad with numbers.
That saves billions of gallons of gasoline. I mean, billions of...
No, I mean...
$2.3 billion worth of...
not
$500 billion in savings.
Excuse me.
And 2-point-something billion metric tons of CO2 going in the air.
Okay, now that should be crystal clear in your mind what it saves.
So what he just said, that's how many birds there are.
Yes.
And it's tough to keep count.
It's really hard. It is. 888-933-93. Also, have you seen this Make-A-Wish thing?
Oh, brother Pat.
This is crazy. Are you kidding me?
Oh, help me.
The only kids that will be able to have their wish fulfilled are vaccinated kids?
And their families. Yep.
Let's check this out.
This guy's...
And CEO of Make-A-Wish America.
Yeah, we know.
And over the past year, we spent each day at Make-A-Wish preparing for the moment when every possible wish could safely move forward. We've approached this responsibility with a focus and diligence for your family's health and safety.
Aww.
Now, we've consulted with doctors and medical professionals throughout the National Medical Advisory Council. And we've been monitoring public health organizations like the CDC and the American Academy of Pediatrics. And based on their collective guidance, today we're making a big step forward and delivering hope to you, our Wish kids, and our Wish families. I'm excited to share that Make-A-Wish will resume granting air travel wishes within the United States and its territories, as well as granting wishes involving large gatherings for vaccinated Wish families.
Excuse me?
As soon as September 15th of 2021.
What was that?
All Wish participants, including your Wish kid and any siblings, will need to be 2 weeks past completion of either a 1-dose or a 2-dose vaccine.
Oh no.
While we won't ask for proof of vaccination, we'll ask for any adult participant to sign a letter of understanding that certifies that they and any minors participating in the Wish are vaccinated and understand the risks of traveling at this time.
That's unbelievable.
It's evil. It's evil. That's what it is.
For these poor kids who are having, essentially a last wish granted to them. Sorry, can't have one if you're not vaccinated. Yeah. Sorry.
And we know that your immune system is compromised as it is. Let's go ahead and screw with it some more, shall we?
You're going to, like cancer patients, you're going to make them get vaccinated too?
This is evil, man.
And they're kids. There's no reason for that. Wow. That's just despicable. And he's announcing it like it's a happy thing. Like this is great. We're excited to announce that if you're not vaccinated, I'm sorry, we're not gonna give you a wish. Yeah. So
we love your kids and we want to help them if you do what we say.
Right, but only if you comply.
Only if you comply.
So no comply, no fly.
Oh, that's catchy. That's a good one there.
Wow, that's really bad. That is. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
The world, man. It's bye-bye.
That's just crazy.
I would say they're not coming back. The world's not coming back.
Jeez. Also, in Franklin County, a judge just recently began including vaccination against COVID-19 as a condition of a defendant's term of probation.
Oh, no.
Common pleas judge Richard Fry said Thursday he added the vaccine as a condition on 3 cases this week of the roughly 20 sentences he imposed. He said he discussed the matter in open court with the defendants, and they attributed their unvaccinated status to procrastination. None raised any philosophical, medical, or religious objection. It occurred to me that at least some of these folks need to be encouraged not to procrastinate. I think it's a reasonable condition that we're telling people to get employed and be out in the community. He declined to speculate what would happen if a defendant raised a medical, religious, or philosophical exemption to vaccination, but said this is a different situation entirely than people who have simply put off the matter. An example, a man named Cameron Stringer entered a guilty plea for one charge of improperly handling firearms in a motor vehicle. Ooh, what a horrific crime.
Right?
You don't want this person roaming the streets. He mishandled a firearm in his car, for which he was sentenced to 2 years of probation and a vaccination.
This is cruel and unusual, is it not? Come on.
Yeah.
This is, and the ACLU finally, doing something worth noting. They're stepping up, right? And they're saying something.
A lobbyist with the ACLU expressed concern about the practice. Comparing it to Ohio judges who have ordered defendants convicted of crimes not to procreate.
No, that's good, though. Hold on. No, wait. Let's back up. Let's not go that far. That's a good one there.
It doesn't have any real relationship to community control. At a minimum, according to the ACLU lobbyist, it appears to be problematic. Thank you. That's powerful.
That is. I mean, that'll
teach them.
That'll do some good in court.
There, you put the hammer down. It appears to be problematic.
All right.
Ooh.
Defense rests.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Climb down off your high horse, mister.
The world's insane.
It's absolutely crazy.
It's irretrievable at this point.
Seems it. Yeah, it does seem it. But your pain's not irretrievable right now because there is something you can do about it. If you haven't tried Omega XL yet, what are you waiting for? This is a way to deal with your pain brought on by inflammation. So much pain is from inflammation. And Omega XL has an off switch for the inflammation. When the inflammation goes away, so does your pain. It's backed by 35 years of clinical research. So they've been doing this for a really long time. And it's all natural. It's not a drug that you're going to become dependent upon or addicted to. That's a real plus to me. Omega XL comes from the pristine waters around New Zealand. It's a tiny little gel cap that is super easy to swallow. And when it builds up in your system, as it did in mine, pain started subsiding at about a week. And after 2 weeks, it was completely gone. Now, you want to try it. Go to omegaxl.com/Pat. And when you buy the first bottle, we'll get you a second bottle for free. So we'll double yours for the price of one. That's omegaxl.com/Pat. Or you can call 800-844-4888. All right. From beautiful, stable genius, we get this tweet. People don't want to think they would push a dangerous drug on the people. And what I mean is people just don't want to think, period. Full stop.
There you go.
Secretary of Pudding
tweets, nice.
I'm glad we have one now. It's about time.
It's about time.
When asked if I've been vaccinated, I say yeah, in 1983, and just walk away, leaving them dumbfounded. Wow, that's some foresight. 1983. So, almost 40 years before this pandemic happened?
Yeah, you're going to need a booster, I'm afraid.
Yeah, maybe. Amy, what's her face? It's funny. Lefties never consider protecting life when discussing guns. That's for sure. And Todd Curtis. Well, thank goodness it's the government spying on me. I was beginning to wonder why there was always vultures circling over me. Whew, thought my time was coming.
Mm-hmm.
No, just the birds doing surveillance. That's all. By the way, I wish the birds would intervene sometimes. Maybe the government birds could help out once in a while and
that's a great point.
Stop some crimes from happening since they're right there anyway. 74 people were shot in Chicago over the weekend.
God.
74. Toughest gun control in the nation. And still 74 people were shot, 6 killed. Jeez. Weekend after weekend. That's what you find there. 888-900-3393. I also love this from Nike CEO John Donahoe. He jumped in over the weekend to reassure China's communist rulers that his sportswear company is all about working with them. He said Nike is a brand that is of China and for China.
Whoa.
Really? What does that say about the United States of America, then, buying your stupid product? According to the BBC, Donahoe told analysts that recent reports showed revenues doubled to $12.3 billion, beating expectations. The revenue helped push Nike to a $1.5 billion profit compared to the $790 million loss they suffered at the end of 2020. Donahoe also reported that revenue in China alone had risen to $1.9 billion. Okay, so about $2 billion of the $12.3 billion came from China. That seems like we're still somewhat important to Nike's business, and yet you're of and for China? These people are despicable. They don't care at all about the human rights abuses in China. Donahoe insisted that China is a vital part of Nike's customer base. We've always taken a long-term view. We've been in China for over 40 years, invested significant time and energy in China in the early days, and today we're the largest sports brand there. Good for you. We're concerned about reports of forced labor in and connected to the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region.
Hold on, can I play the role of Jeffy here?
Mm-hmm.
Are you concerned, Nike? Shut up.
Yeah, well, listen, Nike does not source products from the XUAR. And we have confirmed with our contract suppliers that they're not using textiles or spun yarn from the region either. Okay, everything's fine then. Everything's fine.
I love the word choice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Still, after its statement on slave labor, many media outlets in China began agitating against Nike and its products because they even mentioned it. They mentioned it. Even after saying we're of China and for China, that's not enough because they mentioned the Uyghurs and that none of their stuff comes from that region. And China's still pissed. That is amazing. But all of these companies bend over backward for China because they're all these ones who do this massive business in China. The NBA, Nike, so many of these, especially basketball outlets and businesses, they won't say a word about the Uyghurs. At least Nike mentioned it, that they were concerned by it, and that's still not good enough. Wow. How about if you were of freedom and for freedom? How about that as an American company? That would seem like a good stance to take. But no, they don't take that stance. China is really ruling a lot of these companies now because everybody wants their business. There's 1.4 billion of them, and some of them have money now that didn't have money before. And so with a market like that, now that 400 million of them have come out of poverty and now have some buying power, a lot of companies are just caving into that temptation. It's interesting that they just don't care. And, of course, the Democrats also destroy our credibility by saying that we have the same problem as they do, which we don't. But they keep harping on the racism going on in the United States. And so that's what China uses against us. Every day of the week, China uses that against us. Yeah, well, you Americans can talk about it when you're not discriminating against blacks and Hispanics and BIPOCs. And Twitter isn't silencing conservatives. Well, yeah, it's a point, it's a point. I don't know what you say about that, frankly. 888-900-3393. Also, we got to get into this. I don't know if we have time right this second, but after the break, we got to tell you about what happened with North Carolina State at the World Series of college baseball over the weekend.
Horrific.
Unbelievable.
Just terrible.
Really.
Well, coming up right after the break, we've got the one and only Hillary Kennedy.
That is true.
Coming in here to talk about some interesting stuff in the world.
Like what?
It's like interesting stuff.
Just interesting stuff.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I gotta talk to her about this because she didn't send me an email about what she's going to talk about. So
all right. Well, we'll find out.
I'm leaving you with the generic interesting stuff.
We've got interesting stuff coming up from Hillary Kennedy.
Yeah, interesting stuff.
Don't want to miss.
Yes.
She'll tell us about that interesting stuff. Next.
You'll want to stick around.
Yeah. Joined this morning by Hillary Kennedy of the 4-Minute Buzz. Welcome, Hillary.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
We're going to talk to you about a couple of things. One, the World Economic Forum, which is a really bizarre story.
Yes. So Keith actually brought this to my attention. The World Economic Forum allegedly put out a tweet several weeks ago that said, should the age of consent be lowered to 13 or less, how age of consent laws may be infringing on human rights.
Yeah. Because people were retweeting a screenshot. And we've seen people can manipulate tweets to say whatever they want to. And I said, this doesn't seem real at all. And I went and I found that tweet. And now it's gone.
Oh, I bet.
Looked everywhere because Keith sent it to me and I looked everywhere and it has been scrubbed from the internet completely. You can't find it. I looked on the Wayback Machine where you can find old tweets, things that are archived. Can't find it anywhere. So that kind of led me down a rabbit hole, though, when I was looking for it about age of consent. And it led me to this story about the website OnlyFans. So for people that don't know what it is, it's a subscription-based social media platform. So there are registered users and then there are content creators. And basically, if you're a content creator, you can put whatever you want to on the site as long as it's, quote, legal. So they have a lot of people in the adult film industry and yes, things like that. But what's crazy is, with the age of consent discussion, there are a lot of minors that are using OnlyFans as a way to make income and very young, 12, 13, 14. And even though OnlyFans has safeguards in place to determine your age, you're supposed to take a selfie with your ID to prove that it's you. Kids are bypassing that in all kinds of creative ways. It's actually not that hard to do. They're borrowing IDs. So now these children are selling photos and video of themselves online, and it's also just become a field day for traffickers as well. So the National Center on Sexual Exploitation named OnlyFans as one of their dirty dozen, which is their list of mainstream entities, because they're actively facilitating and profiting from sexual abuse and exploitation. And in 2019, I thought this was shocking. In 2019, there were around a dozen children known to be missing that were linked to content on OnlyFans. And that's according to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. But now these numbers have nearly tripled over the last year.
And what do you attribute that to?
Well, a lot of people are saying what's happening is these kids are, it's not all children either. It's adults too that are being kind of forced into exploitation by traffickers. They will contact you, they will threaten you, they will bully you into giving up your profile on OnlyFans or forcing you to post things and giving up your information so they're making the money, almost kind of acting like a pimp. And this is happening a lot. It's becoming very, very common. And the scary thing too for these kids, especially underage that are posting these explicit photos and video, those things are now being screenshotted, downloaded, saved, and sent out to places like Pornhub where that content is being repurposed and sold without their permission or their knowledge.
Oh, boy.
So the potential down the road for not just children, but for anyone, job prospects, your family finding out. And that's how a lot of traffickers work too, is they'll say, if you don't continue to send me content or continue to post things where I'm making money, I'm going to send all of these photos you take into your family or your school or your employer.
Dang, dude.
Wow. And do they have a lot of subscribers?
They do. So the company was founded in 2016. It now has 30 million registered users and 450,000 content creators. So out of that 450,000, imagine how many of those are kids.
Oh, probably a lot.
Yeah.
Did this explode last year when everybody's just sitting around home without anything to do and they don't have any place to go? And so during the pandemic, I bet it really exploded.
Absolutely. Because I think kids see, especially a lot of these social media stars getting a lot of fame and making money, and they want an easy way to be able to do it too. And so many adults also were without a job last year and were looking for ways to make ends meet. And for a lot of people, they feel like this is their only option.
Another one of those unintended or maybe intended consequences of the pandemic.
Absolutely. Well, I will say this for OnlyFans, just within the past couple of days, they've come out and said they want to move away from having all of this adult content on their site because it's keeping them from attracting the kinds of investors and advertising dollars that they want to be able to continue to grow. So,
because they're kind of starting to get that seedy reputation.
Yes.
Almost like a like a Jeffy site is what they're turning into.
Right.
Without trying.
Yeah, which you don't want.
Right.
You don't want that.
But there have been a lot of lawmakers and politicians that have written the DOJ and asked, look into this site. I don't know that everything's above board. So there are people who are concerned about it, who are looking for it. But I would say for anybody that's a parent or a grandparent, look into what your kids are spending time on, what their friends are spending time on, because the lure of being able to make, quote, easy money, that's very attractive to someone of any age, but especially to kids. And so, maybe just check into what they're doing, search their browser history. If you see OnlyFans on there, definitely look into it, because a lot more could be going on.
And speaking of these people that are making a lot of money online, these influencers like Jake, what's his face?
Jake Paul.
Yeah, Jake Paul and his brother. Is the fight definitely scheduled between Jake Paul, because I know you're a big UFC fan, and a big Conor McGregor fan. Is that definitely on, the Jake Paul-Conor McGregor fight?
So what's supposed to happen now is Conor McGregor is going to be fighting Daniel Poirier on July 10th in Nevada. It's a huge rematch for them. Super excited. But people
And McGregor won the first time?
So he won the first, lost the second, now's the third. So
wow.
What people are saying is if he loses this time, Conor has a couple of options, because that will be several losses in the past couple of years. So what people are saying is his options are he could maybe go the boxing route and fight Jake Paul or Manny Pacquiao. That would be exciting. A lot of people also saying, what would be great for him is to join WWE and go into that arena, since he's the larger-than-life personality. Or, he may have to go back and do some sort of rematch that people would still be interested in, like Nate Diaz, in order to stay relevant in the UFC. Or he could retire for the 10th time.
Yeah, he's retired quite a few times. So that's not set in stone yet.
No, not to my knowledge. I know there's been a lot of talk about it, but I think it kind of hinges on how he does in the Poirier fight.
That'll be interesting to see. So, but the next one is Poirier McGregor.
Yes. So July 10th, which is Saturday. Wait. The next Saturday.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Saturday.
2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Saturday night.
And that's, do you know how much they're charging on pay-per-view for that?
I don't. That's a really good question. I need to look into it, because I will be the person paying it.
Yeah.
I mean, the smart thing is just go in with a bunch of friends, or if you can find a place that's hosting it, some a cool bar or restaurant or whatever that's hosting it. Check it out
sometimes
there,
you can watch it for free then, right?
And I believe it is cheaper if you stream it online than get it on pay-per-view, so on TV.
All right. Well, we'll be watching for you on the 4-Minute Buzz coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Hillary.
Thanks, Hillary.
All right. 888-900-3393. It's swimsuit weather now, so it's time to enjoy the official candy bar of swimsuit weather, and that's Built Bar, of course. Did you know that Built Bar has 9 delicious flavors, plus the occasional limited time flavor? Talking about coconut almond, cherry raspberry, mint brownie, peanut butter brownie, double chocolate, salted caramel. So delicious. Something for everybody. And you might get a mixed box so you can try 2 of each of the 9 flavors. And they're not just the best tasting bar out there, they're also healthy as well. They're high in fiber and protein. They're really low in calories and sugar and carbs. You just can't beat it. And now you can get your Built Bars even faster, because the new URL is built.com. Saves you typing in 3 extra letters.
Right?
Yeah, because it used to be builtbar.com. Who has time for that?
Right.
Who has time to put the BAR in there?
I mean, you got to carve out time in your day for that.
So you don't have to anymore.
That's good.
Just built.com now. Use the promo code PAT15 at built.com to save 10% off your order. Use the promo code PAT15 for 10% off at built.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome. All right, we mentioned that something happened in North Carolina State at the College World Series over the weekend. It's just abominable. I don't know how you feel good about a decision like this, but they did. What, 2 of their players? 4. Oh, 4? 4 kids on the baseball team.
Yeah. Vaccinated players, I'd like to point out. And all tested
all
positive.
Vaccinated?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay, so do we know if they were symptomatic? What do you want to bet? They didn't even have symptoms.
Hang on a
What do you
second.
want to bet?
Let's see. Hold on. I've got this in front of me here. I don't know that they. I thought I saw somewhere they were asymptomatic, but the thing in front of me here doesn't say that explicitly. But it's the contact tracing bullcrap.
Yeah, so NC State was going to say, okay, we just won't. These 4 won't participate. They won't be in the dugout. We'll keep them in the hotel, or we'll send them home, or whatever. And the NCAA said no. Sorry, the whole team, because of contact tracing, whole team's got to go home. So see ya. And they were 1 win away from the College World Series championship.
Yeah. So
1 win away, and they're sent home. That's
because they had already
despicable.
played with a diminished roster. They were down to, I think, it feels like 13 players, 12 players.
Really?
And then the NCAA, and of course the NCAA tries to blame Douglas County, which is where Omaha is, to say, oh, well, they suggested we send them home. And so that's what we did.
Douglas County said, no, we didn't. No, we didn't recommend that. So the NCAA lied, and they've now declared that Vanderbilt will move on instead to the College World Series finals. How much would that hurt if you're a member of NC State and you get that close to your goal, and maybe a goal that you've had your entire life, and then it's just snatched away from you?
Honestly, what I would have loved to have seen is Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, Texas. They should just boycotted the rest of the tournament. Quite frankly, no, we're not participating if you're not going to let NC State stay. That's ridiculous. And then it's an outdoor sport. It's 9 players spread out on a field.
Right.
And then what does the NCAA do the next night?
They brag about the attendance. That's all these people jammed together. 21,883. There they are. 21,883 were there. Yeah, I'm sure that's not a problem at all. What we have to worry about are those 4 kids out on the field who wouldn't have even been out on the field. You got the other 9 players who didn't turn up positive for COVID, and they're all spread out all over the field. By the way, they're not coming in contact with the other team, really. It's not football. It's not basketball. You might be within a few feet of them when you're standing on a base, and say the first baseman is, 3 or 4 feet from you? It's asinine in a baseball game that you would do that.
The world's not coming back, man. And now you got this Delta variant. I'm starting to see masks everywhere again. You know, we get this reprieve where everyone's going around without a mask, and now the messaging is working. Because now people are wearing masks. And what did what's this thing, WHO? Yeah, and the WHO has now officially recommended masks and social distancing for both vaccinated and unvaccinated people due to the Delta COVID variant. Here we are.
Yay.
Next on board will be the CDC, and we're going to start it all over again.
Nope, I'm not doing it.
They're coming for you.
Nope. Not doing it.
They got to scare you into submission because you're starting to feel free again.
I have been. Yes. You can't take it away from me now. You can't. Please don't take it from us. I just declared this thing over last week, and you can't bring it back now. No, I refuse to allow it. And I won't abide it.
I thought that DeSantis made a good point in Florida. If Florida didn't lead the way, then the United States would look like Canada right now. That's a great point. You're absolutely right. Because in Canada, you're on lockdown. You can't practically get your mail without being lassoed into a quarantine site. I'm a little exaggeration there, but it's out of control up there. You certainly can't hold an outdoor church service, as we learned in Alberta. Of course, then they released that Canada's a mess. But DeSantis is absolutely right. Without his leadership, the rest of this country would be like that.
There's some DeSantis derangement syndrome happening.
Oh, we're getting DeSantis derangement, DDS?
We definitely are. Here's a reaction to DeSantis's ruling that this is on...
Is this the moment of silence thing?
Is this on the CRT thing?
There's so much that he's done and been a leader on.
I think this is the CRT thing, and a woman comes home and shows her displeasure about it.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
My.
Another psychotic leftist who's... Here's my reaction to him not letting me tell people that white people are racist pigs. Yeah, it's critical race theory.
Was that the demon leaving her body? Is that what we just witnessed? This lady's a loser. You know what she just did? She set up the camera. She came home, set up her camera, and then left again.
And then came back and walked in.
She had time to think about this.
That's sad, isn't it?
What a loser.
Yeah, that's sad.
Wow.
And is there a second reaction to a vaccine?
I don't think so. What are you talking about here?
I don't know. There's 4 and 5 are both another reaction.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Let's see what that is.
I've been tricked, I guess.
You've been
hornswoggled.
You've been tricked here.
Yeah.
Another
all right.
vaccine. No. I don't know what that is.
Also at the Olympic trials over the weekend. Jeez, this is going to be a tough Olympics.
This is going to be a very tough Olympics, but it's also going to be easy to know who to root against.
Sure is. One of them, Gwendolyn Berry, I'm rooting against her making it to the podium because she made it to the podium in the United States. She was 3rd in the hammer throw. And that's what she did right there. She turned her back on the flag.
Grow up.
That's just so pathetic. She was 3rd, by the way. You see the winner and the second place person. And then she was 3rd. And she feels like she was set up because she can't believe they played the Star Spangled Banner, which they always do.
Wait, is that a new thing just to single me out? That's what it is.
First meet ever. They've played the Star Spangled Banner. Sorry that you had to be subjected to that, Gwen. Just new rule. We thought we'd give it a try. Have you ever seen a sporting event, Gwen?
Oh,
apparently you have because you're pretty good at the hammer throw. She says, I feel like it was a setup. I feel like they did that on purpose. Yeah. And I was pissed, to be honest.
Okay. You know what? Just don't even go to the Olympics.
Right?
We don't. America doesn't want you there.
Go compete for somebody else, a country that you do respect and admire. Go compete for them.
They'd have you, I'm sure.
Probably. She'd probably be number 1 there.
Yeah. And then when they play their anthem, you can do what you do.
She draped a T-shirt over her, too, that said activist athlete over her head.
Oh, I need that shirt.
Mm-hmm. It was funny because they said they were going to play the anthem before we actually walked out, and then it just so happened that they played it when we were out there.
Oh, no.
As they always do, Gwen.
Oh, no.
Again, as they always
Poor
do.
Gwen.
So, it's okay. I really don't want to talk about the anthem because that's not important. The anthem don't speak for me. It never has.
Wait, I don't want to talk about it. It's not that important.
Mm-hmm.
You just turned your back to it.
Yeah.
You just put a shirt over your head. You just gave a quote about how pissed you were, but it don't matter to me.
It don't matter.
Oh,
it don't matter
up.
to me. If you really feel that. So
I don't know that song.
Yeah, it's a Bread song.
It's a who?
Bread.
Huh.
1972. Year of our Lord. 1972. David Gates and Bread. Not familiar with it?
No.
Really?
No.
Seriously? Huh.
I mean, maybe if I hear it.
Big song.
Yeah.
Somebody else will sing it for you.
But I want the Pat version.
Around 5,000 people showed up in Ohio to hear former President Donald Trump speak Saturday night. Were they expecting a bigger turnout than that?
I don't think so.
No?
I think all the
So
seats
were
were
they pretty pleased
filled.
with that? Yeah, 5,000 people.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Outdoors.
And
beautiful setting there.
And there they are.
For Ohio. That was a...
Yeah, that's a good turnout.
Yeah.
That looks pretty full.
I decided Saturday night that he's running. He's going to run.
That's what I keep saying.
Yeah, I think that's where my money is right now.
I think he's going to run. If he's going to run, there's going to be a disappointed Ron DeSantis because I don't think DeSantis will run if Trump does. Do you? I don't think they'll run against each other.
Boy, I don't know. What do you think? Trump, DeSantis?
I think DeSantis defers to him and then runs as his vice president. That'd be a pretty good ticket. Trump, DeSantis, not bad at all. Because it's pretty sure it's not going to be. It's not going to be.
Abbott.
No,
Gnome?
it's not going to be Abbott.
What are you talking about?
And it's not going to be, our former vice president.
Oh, Mike Pence?
Pence.
No, he does not like Pence.
No, because Pence betrayed him because he would. He didn't play the game.
Right.
Neither did Bill Barr. And Bill Barr is persona non grata now, too. So some people are on his crap list.
But honestly, if you're a Republican voter, who do you want running in 2024 against Joe?
Against Kamala or Joe.
Yeah.
Either one. I want Trump to run.
Oh, you do?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
You think he's got a better chance?
Who do you
than
want
DeSantis?
to run? You want DeSantis?
I do. I think DeSantis has a better chance at winning. I do.
Do you?
I think there is.
Maybe.
You've seen the press, and we know the press is going to treat DeSantis like crap too.
Yes.
But
you're right.
The guns are already loaded, and
they will treat Trump like garbage, worse than garbage.
But it's cute to see, like that teacher coming home. It's cute to see the left already releasing Legion on DeSantis with their DeSantis derangement syndrome.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
People are crazy.
It's going to be interesting, huh?
Yeah. What is this? The spa doesn't care.
Oh, that's kind of long there. This guy pulled out his junk in a, just as you always say, at a spa in the female locker room.
Okay.
And, we could play it. Go ahead and push play on this. And so basically this lady is pushing back, saying, hey, little girl saw this guy.
It's okay for a man to go into the women's section, show his penis around the other women, young little girls underage.
Oh, this is bleeped, right? In a few places.
Condone that. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no.
Like I asked. It's so he could stay there. He could stay there?
Yeah, because he identifies as a chick, lady.
My sexual orientation. I see
There we go. Yeah,
it lets me know he's a man.
I see
He's a man. He is a man.
This is our world now.
Female.
Wow.
He is not a female.
In the spa, management doesn't care that a guy just flashed little girls in a women's locker room.
Okay,
and now you've got customers.
Other women who are highly
They're defending him, right?
Yes.
That he identifies as a woman.
Did nothing.
Yes, the world is
absolutely nothing. In fact,
irretrievable.
You sided with him. So We Spa is an agreement with men that just say they are a woman and they can go down there with their penis and get into the women's section. Is that what you're saying? What really? What law? What law?
What law? Yeah.
So women can go into the men's with their breasts. Okay.
Well, I mean, now that you put it that way.
I wouldn't come back either. Yeah, get your money back. You got a man with his penis talking about he's a woman. He ain't no woman. Give her
but watch this guy behind her. Listen to this guy.
There's no such thing as transgender. He has okay? He has a penis. His penis is hanging out. No, I'm not one. Actually, I'm a woman who knows how to stand up and speak up for my right.
Good for you. Yes. Thank you. Wow. There are still people with some sense in their head, apparently. But not many.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.